Typically, it's not particularly difficult to suss out top candidates for an open head coaching job. The team presumably moved on from that coach for specific reasons, and the executive making the decision likely has relationships with coaches who could theoretically fix those problems. Surprises aren't exactly rare in the NBA, but for the most part, identifying top candidates for an open job usually isn't all that difficult. These are uncharted waters. We don't know who will be making this decision, and we don't know what traits that decision maker will prioritize. At this point, we can only speculate. The following coaches make sense for some reason or another, but just know that for an organization facing such turmoil, basically, anything is on the table. But even if those roster changes don't come right now, it's hard to imagine Dallas not making major changes over the next few years. If the team likes Mosley's principles, it may trust that he could lead a top defense when the right talent eventually comes. Mosley is the top internal candidate, and he has a direct line to the franchise player. But it's unclear how valuable continuity is going to be for the Mavericks, right? The organization clearly needed change. Depending on who takes over the front office, that might entail bringing in a new voice for the locker room. Without knowing who is making this decision, there is just no way of knowing. He also has a troubling history of power plays, most notably trying to take over control of basketball operations in Brooklyn before being denied and moving on to the Bucks. The Mavericks are hiring a new head of basketball operations, and presumably, that hire will have quite a bit of say in this one. Would that executive really feel comfortable with Kidd? Hopefully not. No matter how badly the Mavericks want to cater to Luka, this isn't the way to do it. But if the Mavericks are concerned about Mosley defensively, they'd have to be even more worried about Stotts. His Blazers ranked 29th last season and were near the bottom of the league for most of his tenure. His former boss, Neil Olshey, did everything short of screaming, "This was Terry's fault," at his press conference after the two sides split. The Mavericks might have had better defensive personnel than Portland did last season, but the gap wasn't enormous. There's something to be said for stability, though. So many things are changing in Dallas that having a known quantity might not be the worst thing, if only for a few years. The Mavericks should look into higher upside options, but as fallbacks go, they could do a whole lot worse. Judging Kokoskov based on that lone season in Phoenix wouldn't be fair or even possible. There's no telling how successful he would be in a second stint, but his connection to Doncic warrants an interview. Keeping the superstar happy has to be a priority. Hammon's credentials are beyond reproach. A 7-year apprenticeship under Greg Popovich has earned her several head coaching interviews, but she still hasn't been given a top job. She is a WNBA legend that could connect with Doncic through their shared experience of carrying a franchise. She's drawn rave reviews from almost everyone that has worked with her. Hammon, like Mosley, is going to be an NBA head coach. It's just a matter of when and where. The Mavericks aren't going to make a symbolic hire, but it would be hard to deny the impact of that franchise, specifically choosing Hammon. The entire organization should be re-evaluated with Carlisle and Nelson now gone, and while the Mavericks have taken steps in the right direction on the business side, their basketball operations didn't experience much notable changes after Sports Illustrated's reporting on their culture as it related to women. Hammon deserves a head coaching job on merit. She is going to get one. But getting the Dallas job would indicate true progress within an organization that badly needs to make some.